over the last 3 years we've built 2 two-bedroom cottages and 2 one-bedroom cottages at Dalrymples. All of the cottages are spa cottages with open with the wood yotel fires and reverse cycle air conditioning. We've re-established the gardens and we're opened today by John Bertrand and Gary Pert and their wives Raj and Andy.
This is a fantastic day in Marysville's history too, because it's a new beginning. It's a new enterprise out of something that was lost. But the charm and character of the place will go on, the tradition will continue.
I remember when John won the America's Cup and how important that was for Australia and changed the way we all thought about we could actually win. So John kept coming up all the time in my mind, but I was a bit nervous to ask him because I actually don't really know him that well. But I asked his wife Raza and she said, "Oh, of course!" And I said, "But I don't want him to open it, only if he really wants." "No, he will." So we're very grateful to John and Gary. I know you're both very busy people, but we're very, very happy with your support. And Raza and Andy, there's no words for that. Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much, everybody. We've just had so much support from this town, from the state, the country, international. It's just been amazing. We've had everybody. You just couldn't ask for a better lot of friends and help. And just thank you all so much for bothering to come up today. It's just been such a fabulous time in our lives, even though it was the most horrible time of our lives 3.5 years ago or whatever. But the transition to living in the village was absolutely fantastic. We all stayed together and we were all up here, and it just was so much fun. And I'm just so thankful that happened. As a town, we sort of owe such a debt of gratitude to probably the Lindsay Fox and the Fox family and Andrew Forrest and his family, who did so much in the background.
The thing that strikes Gary and I is the entrepreneurial spirit. This story is about the rebuilding of Marysville and the rebuilding of a village and a community in so many ways. And it is true, it's a true Australian story. I think, when we reflect back on what's happening with the Anzac Day celebrations, 20 years ago we kind of nearly lost the concept of the Anzac spirit, or not spirit, but celebrations. And the last decade we're seeing bigger and bigger celebrations all around Australia. We go to the War Memorial in Melbourne and there's like 35,000 people, and over half the people there are under 25 years old. In other words, young people, one would assume, endeavouring to rediscover their roots, or to discover their roots in particular. And what I see here, from what I understand, 90 or 95% of this place was just devastated. And it's just growing. It's growing because of people and the people's spirit to make things happen, and it just reflects back on the strength of character of this country. And this is just such a beautiful case study. And certainly, from my perspective, and I know from Gary's perspective, we feel very, us fellas on the outside looking in, we feel very humble about what we see here, because it's just a wonderful story. So my congratulations and for the evolution of this here, the beautiful way. Our job clearly is to tell people about this, our friends and circle of associates, about what's happening here. The place is beautiful. It's just a great example of what people can do. So my congratulations, and we look forward to what we're going to do now. We're going to open the place.
Yeah.
We're going to unveil it, but Bob knows all. And let me just say that I asked Terry what the format last night. He says we've got a band. In fact, we've got 2 bands. We've got food. We've got some champagne. Other than that, he doesn't know what's going on.
Here we go.
You boys need to help.
You ready?
Yeah. We need to.
Hey!
Well, really we're here to open the cabins with Sharon and Terry, and while you think that would be a big day for them, and they've gone through so much work to get it to this point, literally starting from scratch, but the thing that you really feel is this whole excitement of the entire community, because while it's great for Sharon and Terry, you can see that everyone is feeling that this is just another part of the growth. It's another way of feeling like we're getting back to something relatively normal, and in many ways what I get the feel is people are starting to see the positive side of things could even be better. And you know, we get so many new designed houses, and we get so much benefit to the community of they've been forced to link in and support each other, that people are actually starting to see that there can be some benefits out of it. And I'm certainly sitting there chatting to groups here of friends that weren't friends prior to the fire, but they've been forced together. They've literally been living side by side. And I think even those that had friendships have tighter friendships now, again, because they've relied on each other to survive in many cases and, you know, get through something that. The other feeling that I get is no matter how many stories you can hear from people that have experienced the fires, you can't fully appreciate what they've been through. And in some ways they can't even properly articulate it. And so we're really here to support them. It's certainly an amazing energy that you don't get in normal circumstances, and it's a really special day. I'll take out of today is the most important thing that people can do now to support this community is come up here and be part of it. So come and stay in the accommodation, come and visit the cafes, buy a cup of coffee, go and get a toasted sandwich, whatever it's going to take to keep on being here. I think the crowds is something that energises the community, but also financially I think it's really important. So certainly out of today I'll be taking it to use my networks and contacts to encourage people to come up here, and the place is just stunning. You know, we've been for a walk this morning along the river, and you look at all the beautiful autumn leaf colours. It's a very, very special place. So I know once people start coming back here and realise that it's opening up, you'll get really good crowds and really good numbers coming back.
And we've had a wonderful day with the whole community of Marysville up here. I think we've had a couple of hundred people, and when the town's only got a couple of hundred people, I think we did just about everybody here. Yeah, people are still coming into town, but there's been a limited range of accommodation. Now we've got a range from the Caravan Park, the Tower Motel, Crossways Cottages, Meriton Park Cottages, Fernbrook Cottage, Delderfield Cottages, and the Patisserie Cottages. And Elkana and Karami Guest House are both nearing completion. Now Dalrymples is open. We've added 4 more cottages, 2 one-bedroom cottages and 2 two-bedroom cottages.